Speak like you love yourself. Think like you love yourself. Eat like you love yourself. And care for your natural hair like you love yourself.
Greetings, good people. It's Amena and I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today we're going to get into a topic that's very serious to me, very near and dear to my heart, and that is like, how did we get here? How did we get to a place where harmful, toxic ingredients are allowed not only into our personal care products, our hair products, but also into our food? So I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of clips of like things that are happening today in real time on people's heads as a result of hair products, lawsuits that have been filed as a result of hair products, and then we can dig into a little bit about how we got here. These screenshots are from some groups that I belong to on Facebook, and I am one who lives for the firsthand account. I, can see the articles, the headlines, the news stories, but where you really get the truth is in the comments, is from people in their own words. And so I'm old enough to remember when Rio was taking out people's hair. I believe it was some sort of like permanent waving system, but Rio. And then, Win is amongst these comments. It starts with a D, ends with a curl, the original Plex. They're all in here. And unfortunately for many of us, there are many, many more products that we're going into our local Target or wherever we're shopping and picking up that have these harmful ingredients. So from my estimation and understanding and knowing, not even an opinion, it's living in the US and other countries, but specifically the US. The standard for what is allowed in our food, our personal care products, which includes hair products, is very, very low. It is not respective or considerate of what is best overall for human health and the planet, such that there are harmful toxic substances allowed in the products that we put on our body and the products that we consume and call food.
Another example of how many corporations take advantage of the consumers without them realizing it's taking place. Over the last few years, many class action lawsuits have been filed against the makers of shampoo and hair products containing DM-hydantin and sodium lauryl sulfate. DM-hydantin works by releasing small amounts of formaldehyde, causing harmful side effects, such as hair loss and scalp irritation. And SLS is an ingredient used in shampoos to trap dirt, which also causes skin to become irritated. In 2016, Johnson & Johnson acquired Vogue International for $3.3 billion and assumed ownership for the OGX hair product line. Since the acquisition, J&J has continued marketing and selling OGX hair products to both men and women seeking smooth, shiny, soft, healthy hair. Then they turn around and sell products like Rogaine, which is the brand name version of minoxidil, the over-the-counter topical drug that can help treat hair loss. But unfortunately, it's not just Johnson & Johnson who's facing these lawsuits for putting these type of ingredients within their hair care products. Here's a couple of the brands that are facing the same class action lawsuits over the last few years.
Not to mention that the way that the medical system is set up, unfortunately, is that they are set up to provide treatments. They are not trained in any type of healing methodology or modalities. And so what that means is At the highest level, the system is set up to keep patients coming in the doors. Well, how do you ensure that you always have patients coming into the doors? You allow things into society, into their food, into their products that you know is going to make them sick, that you know is going to cause them cancer, that you know is going to cause them other health issues, that you just so happen to have these lovely pharmaceuticals that we're calling medication to treat, not even heal. And all treatment means is to allow people to live with and function in the disease state. So this is the system set up in the country that we live in. It benefits from having its citizens unwell, such that these things are allowed. There are other countries in which a lot of these toxic ingredients and things aren't even allowed. I just read an article maybe a week ago or so where titanium dioxide, which is one of the primary ingredients in a lot of these sunscreens, is finally banned over in Europe because of its connections to cancer and neurotoxicity and other health issues. So they're telling you to rub this stuff into your skin to prevent skin cancer, and voila, what is it actually causing? And titanium dioxide also is like allowed in food in some capacity and other things, and so it's really, really nasty business. And I want y'all to put that on your list of ingredients to be aware of and avoid. And please don't take my word for it. I want you to start doing your own research, getting your Google on, just taking a little bit more of an interest in things that are pertain to our health. Because if you don't have your health, what do you have? Like, functioning in life with a disease and poor health is much more challenging than it has to be. So if you get nothing else out of this video, please consider placing a higher priority on your health. And yes, we're all gonna die. No one's over here trying to cheat death, even though I am trying to have the longest, most healthy life that I can while I'm here. But maintaining health, to me, is about having the best possible quality of life before I transition into the next realm, exiting the earthly plane without diseases that are preventable, and degenerative and break you down and have you checking out of here prematurely. Like, it's possible. It's being done by many, but these are people who are placing an extremely high value on their health. They are choosing to show love to themselves in a way that I define as doing what is for your highest good at all times. Now, granted, what you come to understand or know about what is for your highest good definitely evolves as your awareness of the world and the things in it evolves, right? So the choices that you make today may be different than the choices that you make 5 years from now, based on what you learn about what is ultimately for your highest good. But when you are in the vibration of self-love, to me, or just love period, you're functioning from a place of, is this for my highest good? Spiritually, emotionally, and physically. This is how I define self-love. So the people who are running our government, who are allowed these substances into our products, into our foods, into our environments, and are actively poisoning Mother Earth, they are not concerned about your health. They are not concerned about the health of the planet. They are not concerned about any of that. So you have to be concerned about it, and you have to be educated about it. And this is not meaning to be fear-mongering or anything like that, only to be informative, so that you move through the world with the awareness that everything that they claim is natural is not always that, and that the front of these labels are for marketing, whether we're talking about hair products, personal care products, household cleaning products, or food, these processed foods, that's marketing. What's really going on in the product is in the back and the ingredients. And you will have some of these brands that are so bold that they will lie and they will tell you that the product is based with like honey and almond or what have you, and you will have an ingredient list of like 20, 30, 40 things, and the honey and almond is like 35th and 55th on the list. How is that based? So we have to become more aware. We have to become more vigilant. We have to decide that we're going to place a higher value on our health so that we can have a better disease-free life experience on this earth until it is time for us to leave and transition into another realm. Now, my entire time behind the chair, I spent about 9 years behind the chair as a cosmetologist, and it was a labor of love so that I could help, my people embrace and celebrate their natural hair. Know that caring for it, wearing it can be super, super easy. You just got to know what to do for it. But existing in that space and navigating all of the toxic ingredients that are in the shampoos, the conditioners, the hair colorants, all this stuff, to make sure that I am doing the most good and the least harm. And that was a challenge, but one that I was up for, because that's why I'm here, right? I'm here to help us be our healthiest, be our most radiant, take the best possible care of our hair and our health and the planet. And so a lot of the products that I chose to use and recommend definitely did not have a lot of these toxicants and harmful ingredients that are eating up people's hair and tearing up people's scalp and increasing shedding and relaxing the curls and the kinks and the coils. Like, there's a lot of nasty stuff in a lot of these products that call themselves natural. And so one of the ways, the main way that you can avoid these things is two things, right? If you turn the container around and you see a whole bunch of things that just sound like a chemical, like you can't even pronounce it or what have you, put it down. Put it down. But if you're not going to put it down, then go the extra step and Google what is such and such a thing, and you'll get a bunch of things that come up, and go from there. I've already done a lot of that for y'all in my ebook, and I have a section that's called Ingredients of Concern. And how I arrived at that section was because I was researching about 11 Black-owned vegan brands so that I could recommend to us in this ebook, by hair type, so that for those of us who are just new to this or realize that our current regimen is not serving our hair well because we're not getting the results we want, I said, you know what, let's go ahead and put this book together. Let's put the highest quality products in there, put them in there by hair type, because that's something that I can do as a professional who's worked with thousands of heads over the years, and make things easy for my sisters and brothers and their families, right? But when I began researching these brands, there was a lot of harmful ingredient that popped up that I'm like, oh no, we don't need to be using products that contain these things. And so I decided to go ahead and add a whole extra chapter so that we could be aware of the ingredients that we want to be avoiding. And then of course I included some brands on my recommended products list that do not contain any of those ingredients. But the reason why I decided to format it that way is just ingredients of concern, the ones you want to avoid, is because then you can, no matter what brand you choose to use, you can scan your products for these ingredients and then make a truly informed decision as to whether or not you want to expose yourself to these things, because they really shouldn't be allowed. But unfortunately, we live in a country, like I said, that benefits from having sick people. Sick people means more patients on pharmaceuticals for the rest of their life. And that system does not make money unless people are sick. This is why this system does not heal, it only treats. So a lot of us that went natural over a decade or so ago came across the information somewhere, somehow, that relaxers were harmful to our health. Not just, you know, taking out our hair and breaking it off, but like really harmful to our health. And I'm gonna link a link to a study that is just confirmed here in the year of 2024 that relaxers are in fact causing, you know, cancers, or linked to cancers of the womb, of the uterine.
This was a 22-year study, y'all, that followed 45,000 women. This does not have to be our story, naturals.
And there's other studies and things, of course, but I'll definitely share that one. And so what I want you all to understand is that a lot of these very same ingredients are lurking in some of these products that are calling themselves natural hair products, that are calling themselves, you know, clean household products, that are calling themselves clean body wash and things like that. And if you want to increase your chances of living a long, healthy life, you'll be active in the avoidance of these things. And it's really not that hard to do. I know it's like extra work, but if there isn't, well, if there's anything worth working for, is your health not at the top of the list? It is for me, right? So I think that's all I really want to say, y'all. Be careful out there. Be knowledgeable. The book, my ebook, definitely has a lot of the common ingredients that you're going to run into in these products over and over again. And I've decided to make this a annual update because what I've learned over the last 10 years or so in the cosmetology world is that brands will just sneak and change their ingredients on you, right? So what was once a clean product will no longer be a clean product. And they don't make announcements, they don't say anything, they just change the formula and someone has to notice and call them on it. And so in the interest of keeping my hair tribe informed and healthy as possible, I'll be making routine updates to the ebook to make sure that we are, continuing to use the healthiest products for us and avoid the ones that are not, because we just have to. Like, this is the world that we live in if we want to keep our hair in its best possible condition. And speaking of hair, y'all, I did a little video, like a really short video on this shampoo and conditioner that I went and picked up from a local apothecary. And that brand of products is definitely featured in my ebook, but the products that I recommend are by your hair type, because what's good for a kinky, coily, thick 4 is not going to be good for a, curly, thin, kinkless 3, right? So make sure that we're using, the products that are ideal for your hair characteristics, which is why I always switch them out based on what is going on everybody's head. Generally speaking, though, the types 1, 2, 3, 4 have some things in common that make it fairly easy to recommend things that are going to work on everyone within that range. But yeah, I picked up the products from a local apothecary, a shampoo and a deep conditioner, because I'm a minimalist, and if I have to decide between a rinse out conditioner, a deep conditioner, like, I just don't like having a whole bunch of products. So I'm gonna go for the deep conditioner, y'all. That deep conditioner is so good for type 3Cs to 4 through the 4s, that I didn't even put any product in my hair. I literally just rinsed out the deep conditioner and I could still feel a lot of the good emollients. The hair smelled great. So I just decided to go ahead and put like 6 chunky twists in my hair. like a little part down the middle, sick chunky twist in my hair, and just going to sleep. And I just took it out. And that is this hair. There's no extra product. There is no gel. I didn't even put any of my salve or elixir because it didn't really need it. Like, it is doing what I usually use my salves or elixirs to do when using other deep conditioners that have these fillers and emulsifiers and, you know, other things in them that aren't really there for the hair so much as they are there to extend the shelf life of the product. And I want to assure you guys that safe preservatives, non-toxic preservatives do exist. It's just that a lot of these brands don't choose to work with them because they may get you 1 year of shelf life versus 2 or more. So it's money. It's really just money that these folks are after. And like I said, a lot of these fillers and things, they don't have any benefit for the hair. They are beneficial in that they will allow these products to stay on the shelf longer, so that these companies, these makers, have a longer period of time with which they can make money. And unfortunately, you know, our cosmetic chemists are coming up in the same type of training that a lot of our medical doctors are coming up in, where you know, they're telling them that, you know, these things are safe and you can put them in the products, or, you know, you can prescribe this medication for this patient. And then what happens years after prolonged use of these things? Oh, well, the hair is breaking down, health problems are occurring, the health of the patient is breaking down. They've now developed some other condition, some kidney disease or something like that, from prolonged use of, let's say, a blood pressure medication or a cholesterol medication. So, same school of thought. And we, as educated, empowered consumers, have the opportunity to go a different way. We don't have to do that to ourselves. It's not necessary. Holistic hair care that is highly effective is out there. And I encourage everyone who sees this video to start moving in that direction if they want to be doing what is ultimately best for not only the condition of their hair, but the health of their body system and the health of the planet. So I think I've said enough about that. Like, I just, you know, I have the utmost respect and admiration for, you know, people who choose to go in the medical field, people who choose to go in the down the cosmetic chemist path. But I do know that the education is limited. It's limited, and unless you're one of those rare doctors and rare chemists that decides to educate yourself outside of the traditional education, you won't know that these things are harmful to people's health. You won't know that they won't actually heal a thing. You won't know that these things are going to be breaking down the hair. You won't know, because that's not a part of the education. Just like in cosmetology school, ingredient knowledge and function is not a part of the education, because if it was, a lot of the products that are being used in salon, a lot of you know, the relaxers and, you know, certain brands of color and now these styling products that contain these harmful things, they couldn't get by the cosmetologist because they would know. So these things are not a part of the education. You have to be a person that places a high value on your health to start going beyond the standard education, whether we're talking about cosmetology, we're talking about cosmetic chemistry, we're talking about pharmaceutical science and medications in general. You have to be the type of person that places a high value on health, and to say, you know what, why is this happening? Why is the hair breaking down? Why are people developing high blood pressure and diabetes? Why are these autoimmune diseases so prevalent? Why is the medication that I'm prescribing not curing it? Why are my patients or are the studies showing that they're developing other diseases with prolonged use of these medications? Why are people's scalps becoming inflamed and the hair is shedding more and breaking off and drying out? Like, you have to be the type of person that sees problems and chooses not to ignore them, so that you can build on your education and become the type of professional that is truly healing, truly invested in what is best for the overall health of the patient, the customer, the client, and the planet. And so I've been on this path for almost a little over 18 years, holistic lifestyle practicing, and that is what drove me down the path of why are these things happening. And I've just been building on it slowly but surely over the years. And as challenging as it is to avoid all the toxicants that are in our products, in our environment, to me it's worth it to do, because my health, that's the single most valuable thing that I have that will allow me to have the best quality of life. And so I do it, and I share my findings with you all through my content and the products that I create, and from the ebook onto the products in my product line that will never ever ever contain any toxic ingredients, because they're not necessary. Yeah, it could be a little bit more expensive to work with natural preservatives and natural aromatics, essential oils, natural bases that haven't been sanitized and what do they call them? I'll just say sanitized for now. Refined, that's the word, refined. Yeah, costs a little bit more, but guess what? My health is worth it. Your health is worth it. The health of the planet and the environment is worth it to me. And so that's the path that I've chosen. And I hope that those of you watching this video will choose it too, and share with others so that they can be aware that just the simple act of shampooing their hair or styling their hair has the potential to cause them a myriad of health problems. And we just don't have to go that way. The same way we don't have to eat a lot of these processed food products that are calling themselves food. Food is living. Food comes out the ground. Food comes off the trees without any type of genetic modification. That's food. Everything else is a processed food product that has been had some type of chemical added to it so that it can sit on the shelf and not spoil for a extended period of time. And the drawback with that is that those things that they use to preserve, and add color and enhance flavor, are harmful to your health. They're just not good for us. And there's too much information out there that supports that. So I'm not gonna belabor the point. I know y'all get it. But holistic hair care, I'm here to take up that space because we need it. We've gone too far to the left or the right or whatever direction you want to say with all of these harmful synthetic inclusions. And let me be clear, I'm not saying every single synthetic is harmful, but I am saying majority of them are. Majority to the tune of like the 98th percentile are harmful. And so we have to be that aware. So like I said, I've done the work for you and I'll be continuing to do it because it makes me a more informed individual and a professional. So those ingredients to avoid will continue to be updated in the ebook, as well as brands that are actually doing it right that are manufacturing with the health of our hair, the health of our body, and the health of the environment in mind. Those will also continue to be added and updated because, you know, we like choices, we like options, right? So how we got here? Living in a country that has a medical system that benefits from keeping us ill, keeping us sick, putting us on medication for the purpose of treating and never truly healing. And the way that you heal, no matter what we're talking about, some damaged hair, some disease in the body, some autoimmune disease, how you heal, number one, is stopping use of the things that are creating the disease. That's number one. And then incorporating things in foods and herbs that are truly healing to the hair and the body system. Healing happens. There's not a disease on the planet that cannot be healed with holistic natural methods. Not one. Now, if we're talking allopathic Western medicine, no, they can't heal it. That's not what they're trained to do. That's not what their medicines or their pharmaceuticals are there to do. They are there to have you live and exist in the disease state, function in the disease state, so that they have a patient for life. And a lot of these hair product companies are doing the same thing. They benefit from keeping you in a state of like, why my hair isn't thriving, why this is happening to my hair, and da-da-da-da-da. So you're seeking the next product and the next product and the next product and the next product, not looking at these ingredient labels to recognize that majority of them just have some varying order of the same ingredients. So they're not doing anything much different, when what you really need to be doing is avoiding majority of those things that are not a natural, all natural ingredient, and going a completely different way if you truly want to heal your hair and avoid things that are harmful to it, your body system, and the environment. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it encourages you to commit to a holistic hair care practice, and not just a holistic hair care practice. It's like stepping it up into a holistic lifestyle practice. I realize it will take some time, but it is totally a worthwhile effort. And if you have questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear if you are on the holistic path or have been considering it, and you know, what positive changes have occurred in your life because of it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and well-being, blessings, and some all-natural hair grease.